What's going on YouTube? Dave back again. I hope everybody is having a great Wednesday. As promised, we're going to go back over the Tamiya panel line accent color. As some of you know, this is some of my favorite product that I use almost on a daily basis that I end up messing with anything. It's a very solid product. If you're not wanting to mess around and mixing your own enamels with enamel thinner or other thinner to get the right consistency and everything, this is perfect for you. If you're wanting to do some weathering, you're wanting to do some panel lines. Before we start, I actually wanted to show you something. I do recommend every time that you end up using this, you do shake it very well, as the enamel itself, the main color actually will settle to the bottom of the bottle. So you want to be cautious of that. But your brush itself will get gunked up over time between pulling it in and out. You'll get sediment dried on here. It's very easy to wipe off, but what a lot of people don't know is there's a little pin that's in there, and this actually pulls off, so you can clean the whole thing. That part pulls off, and that part will pull out. That way you can clean the brush part, get it back to a nice point, and just keep it in a well-rounded function. Now, I will have links down in the description to Amazon where I ended up picking these up. You can get these in individual colors, or you can pick up the 3-pack, which I think is around $24 and is a great buy, especially considering like where I live. One bottle is $12 to $14. So yeah. And it's 40 milliliters. It will last you a long time. One of the things I suggest is after shaking it well, just kind of tap it to the side of the bottle there, so that what's on the shaft here will run back into the bottle. Some of the pieces we're looking at, this is for the Chimeras. And I know I end up seeing a lot of people, they just do a big old dab on there and then worry about that. And I'm kind of like, why go through the hassle of having to clean all of that back up when all you have to have is that little dot right there? I should actually be wearing my glasses so I can see this a little bit better, but I'm not. If you just do a little dab, it will actually follow and trace it around. I actually find sometimes, which I will be doing on the Zaku that I'm working on, that doing panel lines ahead of time will actually save you some of that pre-shading effort. But as you can see on something like this, you can just watch it trace around those lines. It's kind of pretty to watch, actually. If it doesn't reach all the way, just tap it and go. And like I said, this does settle in the bottle fairly quickly, so just be cautious of that. Some, when you don't have a very big panel line, you will have to just kind of force it along, I guess is the best way to describe it. And if it's not as dark as you want, just re-tap over the line. And you just let gravity do the work. I really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me, enjoying my videos, clicking that like, leaving the comments. I try and answer everybody's comments that they end up leaving. You do kind of want to be cautious of where you end up touching afterwards, just because it will get on your fingers and then you'll leave fingerprints everywhere. So we're going to set that to the side real quick. And something like this, we're just going to touch around. Hopefully this is staying in focus for you guys. And I know that looks sloppy. Give it a second. Kind of wipe it off. And I have a question for you guys. Is there anything that you are excited that's coming out? I know a lot of people are excited about I believe it's the Providence that's coming out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure when I will end up getting it. So we're going to set that to the side. I want to show you guys the best way to clean this up. And no, we're not going over the whole kit today. My next video that I have up for you guys should end up being some of the Zaku, since I got that all completely cleaned up and everything. But I've actually had quite a few messages both here and on Facebook if I would retouch on the panel line accent color, whether I still use it, whether I still enjoy it. Now, don't get me wrong, making your own and using like the regular enamel is very helpful, especially if you're wanting to do some custom colors, something that's, you know, not brown, gray, or black. I do use the black primarily because it goes well with everything, but sometimes with a kit that has a lot of white, it's very helpful to break that up and use a little like the light gray with the black, just to give it some contrast. I'm not sure how well that's showing up. And on a piece that you can see better, if it'll stay focused. Sometimes the pedal line doesn't run the same depth all the way up, so you'll have to touch it up a few times. And I can already tell it's about time to shake the jar. But as you can see, most of the time it will just follow, it'll follow the path of least resistance, which is right along the panel liner. And this will do so much for your kit, even if this is all you do and you don't end up painting it. It just kind of makes all the details pop. That one was kind of sloppy. But yeah, my main suggestion, you know, something that I was taught growing up is work smarter, not harder. So unless you're just wanting to punish yourself, don't be that guy that does this, and I'm going to regret doing this. You know, I see a lot of people, they just do this and, oh, it's no big deal, I'll just clean it up later. Well, the problem is that's just going to be more effort of you having to wipe it down and everything. So there's a rough on that. So what I end up using to clean it off of, because it evaporates very quickly, it works great, and you can get a giant bottle for, as you can see, about $5. And just a regular old Q-tip. I need to get some of those beauty Q-tips though, that have the fine point for showing you guys how to do weathering. So we'll do the piece that has dried the longest. And you can just take a cloth and buff that off. I usually suggest once you've done your panel lines, don't do like I just did and do them right away. Let them sit for, I don't know, at least overnight will get you the best results for cleaning them up. And I would constantly just keep rotating your Q-tip. That way you don't end up just smearing it around. But as you can see, much cleaner, much better. On something like this, I'm actually just going to take part of a paper towel here, and you can do that to get a majority of it. You want to wipe across your panel lines. That way you don't end up sweeping it out of the panel lines. On sections like this, do it downwards like this. That way if you have any streaks, they go downwards, and it also gives you a shading effect like right along here. Now once this dries up more, I will end up going back over and hitting it, but as you can see, it works fairly well. This one actually darkened the whole panel a little bit because I got it all over the place. And what I do is I get it on the Q-tip, I roll it on the paper towel a little bit. That way it's not sopping wet. Just come along, hit these points. Soften up that detail, refine those lines. And don't be afraid to experiment. That's one of the things that I tell people the most if they message me or, well, I'm afraid that I'm going to screw something up. Well, don't be. Just do your thing. Don't worry about what someone else has said. Don't even worry about what I've said. Now, if you've asked for advice and someone's given it to you and then you go completely against it, then you become an asshole when you come back and complain that you were given advice and you decided to do your own thing and it came out horrible. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you guys want to see more tutorials, more up close stuff like that, definitely click that subscribe button right up there, and more videos. My last video is right over there. Like I said before, this is one of my favorite products. It's just a general great use on all kits for detailing, bringing out small details. It's quick, it's easy. All you need is some Q-tips, maybe a paper towel, something as a thinner, even if it's an enamel thinner, or I prefer lighter fluid, and just go to town bringing up those details, which will make a significant difference in your kit, even if it's not painted and only have stickers on it. You know, every little bit, make it yours. I will talk to you guys all in the next video. Peace out, YouTube.